I was swallowing. Hello. Hello. Happy Wednesday evening. This is new for us. This may become a thing. I enjoy it. I get to do everything I got to do in the morning, and then it's Wednesday night, and we get to chit chat, and I get to really let my hair down. Good. Happy Wednesday evening. Hey, Jen. I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy you're always here. Um, I can't wait to send you your Christmas gift. I think you're gonna love it. Yes, you're getting a Christmas gift. Yes, Numbers is getting a Christmas gift because of all you do for me. I really, 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 really appreciate you. Good morning, Helena. It's the morning. See, I'm so used to the morning. Good evening, Helena. Good evening, other people's drama. Happy Wednesday. How was your day? Hope everybody had a great day. Hope everybody had a great Halloween. I didn't get that many trick-or-treaters, and I was very upset about that, and then I had a whole, like, venting session in my head about this. Listen, I'm told y'all I'm a yapping yapper who yaps, so I yap to myself sometimes, and I was really upset that I didn't get a lot of trick-or-treaters. I didn't understand it because what happened to the days of the whole block filled with children with their little pillowcases and their buckets coming up to your door and getting candy? It made me sad. Oh my gosh, broke his arm? Jesus. Listen, Helena, nothing beats it. And I think we stole this joy from our children because we do all these trunk or treats and I'm not saying they're not good. They're good. You know, kids get to wear their costumes and they get to get candy because people are weirdos. But do you remember the feeling you had Halloween day in school, just thinking about how you were going to go home later, put your costume on, and go outside with your friends and go trick or treating up a couple blocks and come back with your pillowcase full of candy? Like, do you remember that feeling? I remember that feeling. A million. Do you hear me? Other people's drama, a million. And it's like kids don't even get to experience the true joy of trick or treating and then looking inside your neighbor's house. It's that's really why you went. You never get to see inside this person's house. I cannot believe your son broke his arm, Jen. I hope he's doing okay. I broke my arm when I was younger. I still have I broke my wrist and it still clicks. Mind you, I was an 80s baby. So let me tell you how I broke my arm real quick. Real quick story. Me and my cousins and my friends used to try to jump on the back of the ice cream truck. But I was the only girl for a long time until my little sister was born. I was the only girl. So of course these are little boys trying to jump on the back ledge of the ice cream truck and ride it down the street. And I'm thinking, I can do that. Can do that. I can jump on the back of this ice cream truck. Well, my little tail self jumped on the back of the ice cream truck and quickly fell off. Quickly fell off the back of that ice cream truck, broke my wrist, and it was hurting so bad. I went home to tell my mom I broke my wrist. And do you know this lady told me go to sleep? This lady told me to go to sleep, and I did just that. I went to sleep with my poor little hand right above my head like this. And when she finally took me to the doctor in the morning, the doctor said, "You slept on this?" And I looked at her because I was waiting for CPS to enter the room. Yes, I slept on it because she told me to. And now I still have a little click. And I think I blame her because I feel like it clicks because I didn't get it set right away. Anyway, I told that story to say, hope your son is doing better, Jen. I hope your son is feeling better. It's you got to break one growing up. You got to break a bone. I mean, if did you really have a childhood if you didn't break a bone? See, lazy L. I looked at my mom so fast when they said, "You slept on this?" Yes, I did. Call CPS. Broken arm. Told me to go to sleep. Any hootie. Hope everybody is having a great Wednesday. What are we here to talk about? That goddamn Michael Proctor. Listen here. Do you think everybody in that town treats Karen Reed's name like Voldemort? Like, don't say that name. She who shall not be named. Because had they left that woman alone, had they left that woman alone, everybody would still have their little crooked jobs. Had they did an actual investigation. No, I did not hear about the coke found in the Massachusetts State House, Helena. But you know what? You know what? That tracks. That tracks. See, I could see everybody in that office on a little bit of booger sugar. Do you okay, so for those who don't know, for those who are here and not keeping up with the Joneses, we had another Canton police officer be placed on leave, obviously, for something they had found in Michael Proctor's phone. Now, I, I put my conspiracy theory hat on immediately when I heard this information because they didn't give us no information about why. But whatever it was, he had to go immediately. What could it have been? On the same day that Proctor said, you know what? I don't even want this job for real. I don't even want this job for y'all can keep y'all little job. I want to know what could it have been for them to be like, he has to go now. I want to know so bad. I will pay big, big money to know what it was. And who's next? Because listen, he was so insignificant to the story of it all, right? I wonder if it has anything to do with Karen Reed's case or something else. Because he was so insignificant to the story of it all. He just went and got the snowblower. Nobody paid him any attention. I forgot about him as soon as he testified. Wasn't even that big of a deal. And as soon as they got those messages, they said he's got to go now, right now. And because this prosecuting office is not that trustworthy, I feel like they told him he had to go now because they don't want to look bad about something else. I have so many questions. And why is Michael Proctor at the center of it all? Listen, I know that he was the lead investigator on Karen's case. Is he just this is why it boggles the mind. This whole place, this whole city, this whole prosecutor's office, this whole police department. This is why it boggles my mind. Because if he seems like a centerpiece of it all, he has some real incriminating stuff on a lot of people in his phone. He clearly talks to everybody about everything. And y'all know this. Y'all have known this since Karen Reed, since we heard about him and the other Albert brother drinking and forgetting their gun and badge. When you heard that, Why aren't y'all instantly making him a pariah? Like, it's like y'all held on to him. And for what? For what? Look how he's dragging down a whole municipality. Oh, they're definitely following procedure, Helena, because listen, I'm sure the lawyers are now like, listen, y'all need to, when y'all see something, y'all need to follow procedure to a T because lawsuits are a coming. Lawsuits are a coming. Y'all need to follow procedure down to the period. I don't care if y'all never did it before. Y'all need to follow it to a period. They fired that man immediately. What was it? Because listen, they only gave Buchanan what? They only took 5 of his vacation days. They only moved Tully to a different department. They said, you got to go, sir. What could it be? What could it be? I'm very interested. I'm very interested. I'm so interested if the Canton Police Department started a Patreon for $50, I would say, take my money. Y'all want to get the money for all the lawsuits y'all want the money for all the lawsuits y'all about to get? Start a Patreon and tell me why. Take my money. I'm so interested. I'm so interested. That plus the GPS scandal. Yes, Lazy L. If y'all don't know what he means by the GPS scandal, apparently they put GPS in the squad cars to, calm community suspicions and then gave these bastards the ability to turn it off. What is the point? What is the point? It's like putting a tether on somebody's leg and then saying, but you can turn it off when you want to. What is the point? And of course, they turned it off every chance they got. Every chance they got, they turned it off. And listen, we don't know any of this. We don't know any of this if they didn't go around there fucking with Karen Reed. I know they treat that name like ashes on their tongues. How much of this fallout do you think? Because we know Proctor, but how much of this fallout does the McAlberts deserve? And how much of it do you think the city, the police are giving them? Because that's who he was trying to protect. And had he just said, you know what, I can't help y'all with this. I can't help y'all with this. Everybody is still in their jobs. Everybody still got, nobody's reading anybody's text messages. What am I drinking? I'm drinking Remy Martine and apple juice. So good. Um, had they said, we can't help you with this, we're gonna have to go where the evidence leads. Y'all need to get y'all attorney and we'll see what happens. Everybody has their jobs. Proctor's not fired. Nobody's looking into his text messages. They don't spend $500,000 on Brennan. They probably don't come out of their house anymore. You wouldn't catch me at the grocery store because of course that's why they want to search her phone, because why are you still searching Karen's phone? Because what, for what? Her case is over. Double jeopardy is in play. What are you going to charge her with? Y'all just want to be in something. I want them to release those Proctor text messages like a book. Do you hear me? Staple them together. Start at page 1. I'm seated. Start at page 1. I'm seated. I want to know. Because I think you only get put on leave for blatant evidence investigation tampering or blatant racism. And because I can't tell which one, I'm going to say both. I'm going to say both because they didn't fire anybody but Proctor for all of their misgivings in this case. So what they did was not that bad to them. Something Sergeant Good did was bad enough to say, hey, you have to go right now. You gotta go right now. We can't even look at you anymore. He was immediately placed on leaves. Let's read these statements from Canton. I'm going to share my screen. So this is the first of all, this is the first one. This is the first one. Do I need to make this bigger? Is this the first one? This is the first one. This is when they thought they were going to get away without telling us who it was. That's what's that's how you know they're still trying to protect whatever culture they have over there. Because they released this statement like they weren't going to tell us who it was that was on leave. It says on Friday, October 24th, the town of Canton was notified of allegations of misconduct concerning a member of the town's police department. Although the town is unable to share confidential personnel information due to laws governing employee privacy, there are some facts that the town can share in an effort to ensure transparency and keep members of the town's community informed of ongoing matters. It says immediately. Mind you, this is October 24th. This is when they got the messages or got ability to read the messages. And this is the day Proctor said, you know what? I don't want my job. This is all happening that same day. Which leads me to think that they already knew this. And they were hoping that these messages didn't get released. Because how you read them that fast and decided he needs to be on leave? But anyway, immediately after becoming aware of the allegations, the town engaged an independent investigator to conduct a thorough administrative investigation into the allegations of misconduct. Had to be independent because nobody believed that Canton would actually investigate what happened. They'd be like, we investigated ourselves and we think we did okay. The member of the town's police department under administrative investigation was placed on paid administrative leave on October 24th, pending the outcome of the administrative investigation. Due to the ongoing nature of this investigation, the town is unable to provide additional details. Yes, you can. You don't want to. Yes, you can. You don't want to. You don't want to because we're gonna start asking questions. Because Sergeant Good is literally, I don't want to say nobody. I'm sure he's somebody to somebody. But what he say? Then they had to come back and tell us who it was. Then they had to come back and tell us who it was. Because why you just gonna say somebody got put on paid leave? Who? For what? For why? What he said? What he did? Who is he? Then they came back. Sergeant Sean Good was immediately placed on paid administrative leave. Listen here. Listen here. I told y'all, I think on my very first, maybe second video I ever made about this Karen Reed trial, I said, I cannot ever be from one of them small ho dunk. Everybody knows everybody, and the mailman is married to the cop, and the cop likes the judge, is the judge's brother, who's the sister to the milkman, and that milkman owned a pizza shop. I cannot be from one of those towns. And this is why. Because everybody's all up in everybody's shit. How many cases has Proctor touched, that Good has touched, that Buchanan has touched, that Tully has touched, that like, because and everybody knows everybody. The only person who didn't know anybody is Karen Reed, is Miles King. I want to know what he did. It's bad enough where they said, we can't demote you, we can't move you to a new department, we can't take you off the street, put you on a desk. You got to go because of something we found. I want to know who's next. Y'all have to remember that the text message that they got from Proctor's phone goes back to 2013. It goes back to 2013. Can you imagine all the illegal shit they was doing back? Can you just think about all the illegal shit they was doing back in 2013 when nobody's eyes were on them at all? They was just running amok. They was just running amok. I think they have everything on Kevin Albert. Oh, we are, and because they're close enough to get drunk in the squad car, I think it's way more than that. I think it's way more than that. They were close enough to be like, I got so drunk I left my gun in the car. I want to know what else. Who else? I bet you if we don't get a bunch more placed on administrative leaves, we're gonna get a whole bunch more retirees. All of a sudden, everybody back hurts, they gotta retire. That's the thing, Lazy L. This is why I need to know what this person did, because you only get docked 5 vacation days for getting drunk in your squad car and for getting your gun. You only get docked 5 vacation days for looking for nudes in somebody's phone or acknowledging whatever text message Buchanan acknowledged. Nah, you can still go to work. We just gonna take 5 vacation days from you. This man, they said you have to leave our department today and don't come back till we tell you to. What were they talking about? It has to be very clear racism or very clearly befuddling somebody's investigation or evidence. It has to be something where the lawyer said, if we don't lay you off for this, We gonna owe somebody a bunch of money. We gonna owe somebody a bunch of money. Um, I think Proctor should just pack up his home and get an RV and just drive just just drive as far as his little as far as his engine will take him. Sir, get out of that town. Okay? Get as far away from that town as you can. Anybody who ever had a conversation with Michael Proctor is shaking in their goddamn boots right now. I remember conversations I had from 2013. I don't trust that any of y'all are not illegal bastards. So y'all have to think about, damn, did I tell Proctor about that time I forged that report? I can't remember. Shit. Did I tell Proctor that did I was I on the phone with Proctor that time? I called that boy the N-word? Damn, I don't remember. Was I on the phone? Who did I tell that I planted that evidence on the scene? Ah, shit, I don't remember. Is that Proctor? Wonder if it's still there. Like you'll be shaking in your boots. You gotta be shaking in your boots. And you gotta be shaking in the boots that the person that you told, even if it wasn't Proctor, didn't tell Proctor. You could have never talked to Proctor in your life, but you can't get on the phone and be like, yeah, because James told me that he planted evidence in that one case. Now you running up on everybody. Did you tell Proctor what I did that day? Everybody's got to be shaking in their boots. And Good is not, Proctor is a state police trooper. Good works for Canton. So if all the different city departments around Massachusetts are shaking in their boots. Like, we ain't got nothing to do with this. All because y'all wanted to go around there fucking with that lady. Not all our shit in the street. Because you ain't want to arrest fat, peanut head, Brian Albert, and meerkat looking Jen McCabe. All because you didn't want to arrest them fools. Not everybody's shit is all in the street. Told you not to mess with that lady. This is my thing, Claire. This is just they Proctor was a state of Massachusetts trooper, which means they go in to help other cities, not just Canton, not just Canton. They go everywhere and look and help. Who knows who was talking about somebody that was talking about somebody that was talking about somebody, and they got back to Proctor and now they talking about it on the phone. How many people want their cases relooked at? How many people want their cases relooked at? If there is racist comments in Proctor's phone, every person, every colored person, every person of color wants their case relooked at. If Michael Proctor was the lead investigator. If he says the N word one time in that phone and I'm a black person and Michael Proctor was my investigator, appeal. Appeal. I don't trust him. He planted evidence. If I'm a woman and he's still in there calling people CUNTs and dingbats, I want a new trial. Very racist, very prejudicial. This man do not deserve. I want somebody else to look at it. It's just think about how none of this comes to light if they leave Kieran Reed alone. Isn't that fascinating? That's so fascinating to me. That's so fascinating to me that if they never try to railroad this lady, we don't know any of this. I don't know why that is. Did that just is so fascinating me because it's all standing up on toothpicks, and all you need is a strong wind to blow, and it all comes tumbling down. And this one thing made it all come tumbling down, and I'm just so fascinated by that. And I still want to know where the hell is the Boston Police Department? I don't feel like I hear enough from them when this was one of your own. I don't feel like I heard enough from them from the beginning. But even now that we know all of this, and y'all, if y'all would have just investigated that case and told Brian Albert and Chris Albert and who else ever Albert that, listen, man, this is one we can't cover up for you. This is one we can't cover up for you. We just gotta investigate how we gonna investigate. If y'all would have just done that, everybody still had a job. Proctor, you still looking up nudes in people's cell phones, and nobody's looking at you. You're still a police officer. You don't get fired. You don't have this scar on your name. Go over there and beat Brian Albert ass. Now that I'm thinking, now that I'm thinking about it, I would beat his. And, hey, and you're gonna pay for my livelihood. I don't know if you gotta go get another job or what, but rents due, motherfucker, and I can't pay it because of you. So you and Jim McCabe get to y'all Ubering or Door Dashing or whatever the hell y'all got to do, but the mortgage is coming up, and so is the light bill, and I'm in this position because of you bitches. Absolutely, absolutely. Y'all, they would be paying me for my pain because had I done the right thing, I would still have a job. Now I'm about to get 7 motherfuckers fired. Now I'm about to get 10 niggas fired because of you. All of this. You know what's so funny though? What's interesting? All of this, all of this, and Peg O'Keefe is still trying to sue Karen. Isn't that crazy? All of this, all of this info, all of this evidence that Proctor is the damn scourge of the earth and probably planted evidence in this case. And you're still going forward with this lawsuit that's probably not going to see a courtroom until 2027. And you got a foot in the morgue as we speak. I'm sorry to talk about people, but death is inevitable. And ma'am, you are old. Knock on wood, because I don't want anything to happen to Miss Peg. But I'm just saying, all of this, and the person you want to sue is Karen Reed and not Michael Proctor and the state police. That is where your lawsuit should lie. Because you should tell them I would know what I need to know if y'all did your job correctly. And because y'all don't, I am probably going to go to my grave not knowing what happened to my son. That is where your lawsuit should pivot to. You have all this information and you still believe. Delusion, I'm telling y'all, they sell it by the pound out there in Canton, Massachusetts. That is true, geniality. That is true. I'm not convinced she's not rethinking about blaming Karen, but pride is a hell of a drug. Yes, that is very true. And it seems like everybody in that town would cut their nose to spite their face. Everybody in that town cannot say, you know what? I was wrong. I got new information and I'm changed my mind. Nobody in that town seems to be able to do that. It's like they pick a side and I'm going to ride or die on this side. Regardless of the information I get, I'm stuck here. But she has to be rethinking everything she thought she knew. She has to be rethinking everything she thought she knew. Because how do you hear that somebody else has been laid off from their job because of what is in Michael Proctor's phone? And he has decided, I'm going to give up my whole entire bid for a new job. And you don't start side eyeing everybody involved. Hmm. What else? What else is going on over there? I don't know, honey. I don't know, honey. I will go over there and line them all up. Every Albert I see and every McCabe I see, I will line them all up and backhand slap their ass. I will line them all up and backhand slap their ass. Ever since this case, it's just been police dropping out of this department like flies, caught in lies. And you ain't side eyeing nobody. You don't got your good eye on none of them. You still think it's Karen, huh? Okay, girl. Okay, girl. Okay, girl. Backhands for everybody, Jen. You all made me send me through all of this strife and pain. I question everything about this town. Everything about it. I question everything about these people, this town, this police department. If I lived in Canton right now, I would be packing up and putting pounding a for sale sign in my front yard. Because what is going on? What is going on? Where are the whistleblowers, you guys? There has to be one, right? There got to be one. Has to be one somebody who's willing to be like, look, let me tell y'all how it really goes down. Mm, very interesting. Very interesting. I'm still waiting to see all the fallout because I know there's more. And when the text messages come out, I will be seated. Okay. Reading them in different voices like a novel. Do you hear me? Everybody will have a voice and a tone. It's like a book. I will print them out and staple them together. Get on the couch and rub my feet together and flip through the pages like a storybook. I need to know. I need to know why they said we can't have you here anymore. We can't have you here anymore. You gotta go. 'Cause drinking in your squad car and using your gun and your badge is not enough to get you laid off. That's not enough. Creating a false memory is not enough. Some he did, they said, I hate to inform you. And the day of, the day of. That mean they didn't have time to think about it. As soon as they saw it, they were like, hey, beep, beep, hey, he gotta go. As soon as they saw it on the page, hey, call him up here. He gotta go. He gotta go right now. Very interesting to me. Very interesting to me. Anywho, what else is going on? Do y'all know that they are reporting my videos on TikTok? Did I tell you this? Oh, no, geniality. This gotta be um if this is a series, this gotta go seasons. This gotta go seasons. Because they little 8-episode miniseries they be trying to do on Hulu, that's not enough. That's not enough. I want seasons and I want every character to have their own season. You know what? I want this to be like a Vantage Point type of series when this comes out. Have you ever seen Vantage Point where they tell the same story from everybody's point of view? That's what I want. That's what I want. And I want seasons. Minimum 3. Okay, Jen? Minimum. And I want everybody to be like day one. I want a mixture of Vantage Point and was it 24 hours? What's that show? What's that show where they like one day or 24 hours or whatever? I want like a Vantage Point type show, but it'd be like 10 a.m. is the first episode. And then we see everybody's version of 10 a.m. And then like 11 a.m. is the next episode. And we see everybody's version of 11 a.m. I want all of it. 24, that's what it's called. 24. Never watched that show, but I know it was a show about different hours. But that's how I want this show to play out. And I need at least 3 seasons. But anywho, yes, they were reporting my videos on TikTok. They did not like what I've had to say about Alicia Andrews. I don't know if any of you watched that trial, the Julio Fulio murder trial down there in Tampa, where we saw Donna Adelson. There was a young lady on trial by the name of Alicia Andrews. I don't know if you guys saw me on AV's channel. I went to talk about it. They were not nice to me in those comments either. They did not like my point of view. So they're reporting my videos on TikTok, and I don't care. I think, see, y'all are my people. So y'all know that can't nobody make me change my mind. I don't care. Say what I want. Say what I want. They were mad at me on TikTok because I said I don't believe that she should have been convicted. I feel like the verdict should have been not guilty based on what they charged her with. You were nice to me, Helena. Um, yes, Tammy Lynn, because I made a couple videos about how I think that people are not looking at the evidence and they are using their personal beliefs about what they believe she did or what they believe she know. And they reported my videos. They didn't like that. Oh well, the girl did not get fined, not guilty. She's got found guilty of manslaughter, which makes no sense. You really think so, Miss Bailey? I think her lawyers were amazing, and I think they did a great job. I think because the judge was so rude to them, and because the prosecutor was so rude to them and talked down to them most of the trial, that it made people who did not understand argument or did not understand laws per se feel like they weren't doing their job. When in actuality, their arguments were sound and they were good arguments. And I know that they were good arguments because when the judge says things like, well, if I'm wrong, they'll reverse me. That's how I know. That's how I know that what I'm saying is right. but you're going out of your way to disagree with me. Because to say something like, well, if I'm wrong, they'll reverse me, means that since somebody's life on the line. If you think you're wrong, then how about you take a minute to think about it? Because everybody doesn't get an appeal. What do you mean? Well, if I'm wrong, no. If you think you're wrong, take a second. The way she was talking to them, and like she would say something to them and they would be like, no, that's not what we said. And she would never apologize for misrepresenting what they said. She would just keep going. So yeah, if you listen to how the judge talked to them, it felt like they didn't know what they were doing. But in actuality, they were making sound arguments, and that judge was just did not like them. And I hate to bring race into it. I don't know why she don't like them. I don't know why she didn't like them. Maybe she just thought their client was guilty. I don't know what it was. But the way those prosecutors and the way that lawyer and the way that judge talked to that all Black defense team made me feel away. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest. Because as a Black attorney, I think because people, you might have a friend who's an attorney, or you might just grew up in a neighborhood where there are Black attorneys. It makes you feel like there are a bunch of us. It's really not. We make up only 5% of lawyers in the country. Every time we walk into a courtroom, we automatically assume it's going to be a hostile environment. They're going to talk to you like you don't know what you're doing. They're going to talk to you like they need to teach you something. They're going to talk to you like you never have been here before. And I don't give a damn if you're at the top of your game. That's just how they're going to speak to you. And so every time I saw that prosecutor say, well, you need to do this. Not, first of all, when you're in a courtroom, you should not be talking to each other. You should not be, there's no time in a courtroom that lawyers talk to each other. They talk to the judge. The judge tells the attorneys what to do. The fact that that prosecutor would turn around and talk to that young man, I can't remember his name, on the defense team, made my blood boil. But they had very sound arguments. I felt like the judge was letting in things that she should not have let in. A prejudicial over probative material. Things she said 2 years ago have nothing to do with this case. Pictures of people who are not involved in this case have nothing to do with it. And it's just to prove that she knows these people. And they were very mean to me. Now, yes, young Black economists, and you know that when you walk into a room, people look at you like, what are you doing here? Talk to you like they teaching you something. Like you didn't go to all the same schools and classes they went to. It's very hostile environment. Something did happen. She did tell Lena, she started out very neutral. And I think she didn't like their opening and decided that they were just balls to the wall. Because when you sit up here in your opening and say, and they were like, that's not what we said, actually. But she never corrected herself and be like, well, I apologize. I thought that's what you said. She would just move on. Like when they had the one detective on the stand and they wanted to ask him a question, and the judge goes, well, didn't you just say that you heard? And they were like, that's not what I said. I said I wanted to ask him about it. Well, okay, just ask him about it. Like, no, you just maligned me and yelled at me and told me something I did. How about you say, well, I apologize for that attitude I just gave you? Or when she would be like, well, can we approach sidebar? And she would be like, no, you can't. You don't even know what I'm about to say. I've never seen a judge say, no, you cannot come sidebar. I need to put my objection on the record, because what you might think I'm objecting to, I'm not objecting to. And because I don't want to speak in front of this jury, I need to approach sidebar. Or when she would say, do you have an argument, to the prosecutor, letting them know that they should have another argument. Do you want to put up a motion? Letting them know that they should put up a motion. That's not how this goes. That's not how any of this goes. If you don't know what I'm talking about the Julio Fulio murder trial with Alicia Andrews. Basically, Julio Fulio was a menace to society down there in Jacksonville, Florida. Came up to Tampa. He was a drill rapper, drill gangs. They send raps back and forth. They kill each other, people back and forth, and then they caught him and they unalived him. And then it was three shooters, one lookout, and the girlfriend. And I am getting my videos reported on TikTok because I was saying that I don't believe that girl knew as much as they wanted her to know. And I think that even when she knew, what was she supposed to do? And I did not agree with the charges they levied against her, which was first degree, premeditated unaliving, and conspiracy to commit first degree, premeditated unaliving. And I did not agree with those charges. I happen to believe the girl when she was saying what she knew, how much she knew. And I do not believe her when she wouldn't say when she knew. But I feel like even if she found out right away, right after they went to the club, my question to everybody is why? What was she supposed to do after that? I'm down here with my boyfriend. I don't have a driver's license. I'm only 19. I'm with all these obvious shooters who don't have a problem shooting anybody. What am I supposed to do here? Exactly, Jen. How dare you have an opinion? It's again one of those places where it's like you have an opinion and you're so stuck in it, it makes you get rude. How did she claim to not out two and two together the next day? That sent me because, ma'am, really, I don't know what you mean, Helena. Do you mean she claims not to know them? That's what I'm saying. I believe her. I believe her. And this is a culture thing. Like, I think that culturally people can't understand this happening, but culturally, because I grew up in the ghetto, y'all know I'm a little ghetto. Because I grew up in the ghetto, I can understand. It boggles the mind of some people that you would be with your boyfriend and two dudes you don't know. It don't boggle my mind because it's happened to me. Spent the whole weekend with my boyfriend. And every day we wake up the same excuse me, same two dudes, and I had no idea who they were. Didn't know their name. I think I knew their nickname, and one of them was Smoothie. And if he would have took me out of town that weekend, my dumb little gullible self would have went, and I would have not know those two dudes. I think it's the fact that none of their parents knew her, none of their family members knew her, nobody had ever seen this girl before, makes it very believable to me that her man said, "We're going out to Tampa." And she said, "I want to come." That's the part I don't believe from her, Helena. When she was in the video of the hotel parking lot the next day after the shooting, she was there. She heard gunshots, but she didn't even think it was them. I can't believe she didn't figure it out. I don't believe her on that part. I believe she did figure it out. I don't know when, but I believe she did figure it out. But the question is, after she figured it out, what was she supposed to do? And even if she figured it out, how was she a principal to what happened? If you remove her from the situation, all of this still happens. None of her actions contributed or made this action happen. So I don't believe that she deserves to spend the rest of her life in prison for that. I don't believe her that she didn't figure it out. I think she figured out pretty soon what was going on. But what I'm supposed to do? I'm here with them. I'm here with them. I ain't got no money. I can't even go get no food. Like, I believe her when she was like, I was hungry. I wanted some food. They took me to McDonald's. I didn't want no McDonald's. Can't even go get food. What am I supposed to do now that I know they about to unalive this man? Can't do nothing. I gotta go where he tell me to go. He want my phone. I gotta give it to him because let me see your phone. Have you ever said no? Have your man ever asked you to see your phone and you said no? Could you imagine that fight? Your boyfriend asks you to see your phone right now, and you say no. Go ahead, try it. I just didn't believe that she deserved to spend the rest of her life in prison. And the thing is, I don't think the prosecutors deserved she to spend the rest of her life in prison. I think Tampa seems like what I've seen from them, from the Adelson convictions and this one, they seem very retaliatory. Seem very vindictive. And if you don't do what they say, they're going to throw the book at you, i.e., Catherine McBanois. I will never get over the fact that they offered that woman full immunity. Walk out of here today. Walk out of here today if you testify against your child's father. And if you don't, we're sending you to jail for the rest of your life. I will never get over that. And even as a lawyer, I feel like that should be illegal. I feel like if you think that you clearly don't think she's dangerous, evil, or what she did was that bad because you were going to let her walk out of here. But because she didn't do what you wanted her to do, you're going to send her to jail for the rest of her life. And what you wanted her to do was unreasonable. What you wanted her to do was unreasonable. You wanted Catherine McBanois, the one who's in the middle, the one who called her baby daddy, to come up and do this thing. You want her to testify against him in a death penalty case. That's unreasonable. That's unreasonable. But you got mad because she didn't. And so you prosecuted her for first degree premeditated murder. Tampa seems like a very vindictive, very retaliatory prosecutor's office. And I think they were mad at her because she didn't tell them what they wanted to hear. And so they're going to charge her with first degree premeditated unaliving when they have no evidence. That whole cross-examination of her on the stand was about, do you know these people? Do you know these people? So you didn't hear him on the phone? Common sense would have told you. So you didn't hear the gunshots? All of that, and none of this is telling me what this girl did. Because she did nothing. It's that she got in that interrogation room and told them people, I'm not about to do your job for you. I don't know. I can tell you about me. I can tell you about me. I don't know about the rest of it. It is legal blackmail, and I hate it, John Courtney. I cannot stand it. Even as a lawyer, I hate it. And I feel like judges should do something about it because they can. Because they can say, you offered her full immunity, and now you want me to give her life in prison. That doesn't make any sense. The same way that, what was her name in the YSL case? The judge in the YSL case, can't remember her name now. But the same thing she did for Young Thug. They wanted to give him 25 years. And he said, you were just willing to let him walk out of here. So we're not going to do that. That is what judges who really care about the law do. You were going to give him full immunity if he did what you wanted him to do. Not Love. That was the attorney. I mean the judge. The judge after the black guy. I can't remember any of their names for some reason. But that is how the law should work. If you think that whatever I did, Whitaker, that's her name. Thank you, Miss Bailey. Judge Whitaker told the prosecutor's office after they said, we want to give him 25 years in jail and 30 years probation. She said no, because I saw the plea agreement y'all were going to give him. Y'all were going to let him walk out of here. So now all of a sudden he's so dangerous to the community, you want to give him 25 years? No. I think this is the same difference. Like this about Caddy McManawan. Everyone will be dogging on her heart, and I'll just be like, I kind of feel bad for her. And then many people just jump on me. How dare you not hate her? True. You can't have a different opinion. And here's the thing. I'm not saying Catherine McBanois is no saint. But I think it's different for me when you came. First of all, obviously, I'm not rich. Obviously, I'm not rich. And you come at me saying you'll give me $100,000, $200,000, and all I got to do is call somebody. I don't know that man. Sorry to that man. So, no, you didn't have to do it. But also, obviously, prosecutor's office, you didn't think her role in it was that deep either because you were going to let her walk away scot free. No charges. I don't mean they offered her immunity and the fact that like, we're going to give you some probation. You're only going to do 5 years. No, they were offering Catherine McBanawa nothing. Walk out of here if you testify against your baby daddy, which is unreasonable. How can I testify against my child's father, basically sending him to his death? I might as well pull the trigger on my kid's father. That's unreasonable. That's unreasonable. Now, now, you would have asked me. I'd have had to sail that man up the river. I had to sail that man up the river because if it's between you and my kids, it's gonna be my kid. It's gonna have to be my kids. But I understand her saying, "No, I can't do that." But just thinking about how my kids would have neither parent, I don't know. Might had to put that man on the midnight train to Georgia. I might have had to put that man on the midnight train to Georgia. I don't know. Good thing I'll never be in that position. But this is the prosecutor's office that Tampa has. And so that's another reason why I was not falling into this girl is guilty, 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 because I don't trust them down there. I don't trust them down there. And y'all still ain't told me what she did to be a principal in this unaliving. Y'all showing me pictures of people she take a picture with. You basically crucifying her for where she grew up and who she knows. She can't help who she knows. Can't help who I know. And if everybody in this town is gangbanging, of course I'm going to know a couple gangbangers. And she's light skinned, she's pretty. Of course, that's who they want in their arms. So she probably didn't went with a few of them. Like we're not dense and dumb to this. But anywho, they are reporting my videos on TikTok. So if you on TikTok, please go on my TikTok and like my video. Cause they was mad at me about that, honey. They was in AV chat calling me all time, but type of names. Oh well. Oh yeah. Anywho, we're gonna get off of here. We're gonna wait for more Proctor fallout. I can't wait. I can't wait to see who else is fired. Or if the mama talked herself into charges, I don't know, Helena. She was definitely up there lying. I don't think, but you know what? Any other prosecutor's office? I don't think so. That one, possibly. Because again, they're very retaliatory and very vindictive. Any other one probably feels like, you know what? Of course she was gonna lie. That's her son. That's what the mom was gonna do. But that one, they'll find a way. That's okay, numbers. It's my fault. I told y'all I need to get better at letting y'all know that I'm going live. So that's okay. Thanks for being here. Um, I need to, with my own eyeballs. You hear me, young black economist? I need to see them in print. I don't even want to read them on a computer. I want to print them out and staple them together like a book. I want to make a cover page and everything. I want to make a cover page and everything. Start at day one, January 1, 2013. I'm telling you, I want to read them in different voices. Make sure I get the right affects. I hope everybody using punctuation. I need to see those messages. I need to see what would make them say, you have to go today. Oh, yes, we are, Helena. I want to know what will make them say, you cannot come back here today, right now. We just got the message and you just got to go. You just got to go. It has to be something with some evidence, something with somebody's investigation, or a blatant racist text message that was it has to be more than just the N-word. I don't feel like just the N-word gets you laid off right then and there. I need to know. So I'm just itching with anticipation. Where is the leakers? Where is the people that leaked the stuff? Every prosecutor's office got a leak. Where is the leak? I need it the worst way. I'm telling you, they're gonna get lawsuits and they want to pay for them. Listen, City of Canton, y'all want to pay for these lawsuits? Start a Patreon. I will pay $50 to see those text messages. Do you hear me? Name your price. Name your price. That's right, young Black economists. And it might not even be racism toward suspects, might be towards other police officers. And that is deep. That is deep. Mm. Anywho, I'm going to get off of here, guys. I hope you guys have a great Wednesday and a great rest of your week. Make sure you take care of yourselves and each other. I will holler at you next time. Bye. Bye, guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.